Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Ashleigh, and today we're talking about a topic that I thought I would never talk about, but here we are, and it's how to actually start a business in the United States. If you don't know, you should though. I'm Australian, and I moved to the US in 2016, and I had absolutely no idea what to do in terms of operating a business. When I moved to the United States, it was the first time that I had actually been in the States as well. So not only was I creating a new life, I was also learning the ropes just like you as I went along. So as we jump into this, just know that this is not financial advice, accounting advice, or any type of, advice outside of a lived experience and the steps in which I took to start my business, well, multiple businesses at this point. So when it comes to starting a business, obviously there's steps in which you need to take to set up the business foundation. But in terms of actually starting a business, you just start it, right? Just start it to see if there's like market value for it, or if people want something something from you for it, if that makes sense. So the first step in this is you choose the business structure. So when you're choosing the business structure, there's LLCs, S Corp, C Corp. For myself personally, I went with LLCs and also S Corps. But I do believe starting off first, again, not advice, just what I did was an LLC. And for me, it was simple, it's affordable, it protects your personal assets. They're flexible and you can convert them later into S Corps for tax benefits. At least that's what I did. Now, different states, different things. I'm in California because that's where my business is obviously set up and run. Now, an S Corp, from my understanding, is they're used after you're making enough profit to pay yourself a salary or distributions. So usually around like that 60K and then profit. Again, from my memory, don't take it for gospel, but and then you have a C Corp. This is for startups that are looking to like raising capital, investors, tech companies. So yeah. And from there, it is important that you choose your state. Now, again, it's usually best to choose the state that in which you're living in, because then you don't have to worry about doing or living in, and obviously the business is set up. You don't have to worry about paying different fees for being outside of the state. So it's always the best option, the easiest for taxes and compliance. There'll be different states like Delaware and Wyoming have different laws. So like for privacy, or they're more business friendly, more investment friendly. But again, depends on where you're starting. Always just start with your own state. It's the simplest, easiest way to go. So if you're in California, start it in California. If you're in Florida, start it in Florida. If you're in Wyoming, start it in Wyoming. And then, of course, the next step is registering the LLC. So I know it sounds scary, but it's really not. It honestly takes like maybe 10 to 20 minutes. And you just file it through the State Secretary of State website, which I'll list for California down below. And typically, off the top of my head, I can remember anywhere between like 100 and 300 maybe. I could be way off there, but it will depend on like the one-time fee or the annual, depending on the states. And for the love of God, don't go to weird sites. You don't need LegalZoom charging God knows what. Just go straight to where you need to, right? And then the next step is to get your employee identification number, which is your EIN. Now, I want you to think of the EIN as like your social security number. It's what the business needs to be recognized by the state. It's free, it's instant, it is required for like banking. So your Stripe, PayPal taxes that you get from the IRS, it's literally 5 to 10 minutes. If you're not a citizen, samees, you can still get one with a foreign passport, and you'll have to fill out like a separate form. I think it's like an SS4 or something like that. But we'll explain it on the website, and it's honestly the most easiest thing that you will do. And then, of course, you open a business bank account. To be able to open the business bank account, you'll need your LLC approval, you'll need your EIN, and then, of course, ID. So if you're not an American, you don't have an American ID, which would be equivalent of like a driver's license or something, then take your passport. I always take both just in case, because I am technically on a visa, so I always take the passport just in case. To me, the best banks in America are like Wells Fargo and Chase, but there's so many, you can go and pick the ones that you want to work directly with. Now, having a business bank account is important because you don't want to go mixing your personal money with the business money. And it really, really gets people in trouble for tax time. So you need to treat your business like a business from day one. The money that goes into it, the money that is used, is generated from the business. It just makes everything clean, especially when we go into like looking for having a bookkeeper, which you can use through QuickBooks. And I'm going to link all of this below for you in the caption for those who are listening via Spotify or watching via YouTube. Just know that the links are all directly below if it's something that you're looking to do. And then, of course, the final step is you want to set up your payment system. So this is a step that I feel like people overlook. Realistically, you just need a platform that allows you to process payments. Some people use Stripe, some people use PayPal, Zelle. I myself use QuickBooks because it just connects everything in one. I don't have to worry about it. If Stripe's going to take the fees, I might as well give them to QuickBooks because it's just all in one place. If they don't want to pay the fees, then we just use Zelle because it's, Zelle or Venmo, right? And then, so for your online sales, you easily just link the LLC and the EIN easily to your PayPal, Square, Stripe, like whatever the platform is, QuickBooks. We'll move into the next step is to set up your brand and then the legal and then get everything working, right? So what I'm going to say from now is, do you really need this to get the business off the ground? No. You have the business set up, you have what you need, go for it. Start earning money, bringing it in. Because realistically, needing to have like the perfect website and the perfect, Google workspace and all of that is not necessary. Having the perfect name. Yes, it will be one day, but when you're just getting started, it's really, really not. It's not anything that you need to operate the business with. And then, of course, we get into things like trademarking, insurance, just depending on what line of business that you're in, and then moving into like the marketing. But we're just going to keep it to how we set up the business in itself. And then in another video, we're going to go into like the marketing and how to build like the brand story and how you want to develop it and how you want it to, really, really take form. For 3 of my businesses that I've opened and sold, and then one that I consulted in, the main key factor was storytelling and being able to present the brand and the story and everything that came with it that really pulled people in. People want to be connected to something, connected to a mission, but that's for a different video, which again, I'll link it below if you want to know how to brand, storytell and all of that. So starting a business in the US is really, really, it's not overwhelming and it's really not hard. It's just simple like steps that you need to follow. It's literally LLC, EIN, bank, payments, taxes, sell. That's it. We really have a tendency as people to overcomplicate things, and it really doesn't need to be that way. So if you feel overwhelmed, just take a deep breath and be like, it's not that hard. I've just got to follow these steps and I can do it. And you will be totally fine, I promise. If I could work it out, so can you. In my next video, next video episode, we're going to jump into how to build a 6-figure brand for sale from scratch. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode today. If you enjoyed it, please jump in and leave me a review or a comment of the type of videos that you might want to see if you're really enjoying these ones. I look forward to hearing you in the next episode.